Life is like a divine play. So I don't need to be that serious to be spiritual.
Welcome to the Soul Game, a 15-minute group transformational experience where one participant receives a SOULution to any life issue.
So I know that my highest self is an ambassador of fun and a lover of life and a vibe-boosting babe and a spiritual sparkle diva. And I want to get my oomph back.
In this episode, after having done deep self-healing work, Judi finds herself in a spiritual siesta, especially living in New York Metro during the 2020 lockdown, confined to her work chair. Can she rediscover and enliven her tigress hunter ways? Let's see what the energies have to say during this Soul Game.
Hi, I'm Judi Connor. I am 55 years old. I'm from Howell, New Jersey. I am the mom of 3 fabulous young adults. I've been a single mom for about 17 years. I'm a pediatric nurse for a few decades. I worked with a shaman for over a year. I'm very spiritual for many years. And to heal myself from a debilitating illness, and I feel great, except for I really detached. I detached from the passion and excitement that I've had in my life before, that I feel like my highest self is about. So I want to just shake things up. That's whatever's blocking my energy from being my highest self, which I know is ambassador of fun and lover of life and vibe boosting babe. And I know my mission is to inspire people and with my passion. So I want to get it back. I'm Judi.
Ooh,
Judi.
Ooh, I love the way that feels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Judi, what is your healing request?
My healing request is this. I went inward and did so much spiritual work on myself that I literally detached from everything. And I'm grateful for everything that I let go of, the junk in the trunk, but I also let go of my passion and my excitement. And I settled into this boring spiritual siesta that I can't snap out of. So I know that my highest self is an ambassador of fun and a lover of life and a vibe boosting babe and a spiritual sparkle diva. And I want to get my oomph back because I just turned into a very way too zen person for who my highest self is. So that's my request.
I love that. So if I may reflect a little bit to you, what I'm hearing you say is that you want your oomph back and that you've been in a spiritual siesta. Yes. And how is that for you? Is there more?
That is it.
That is it, huh?
That is it. You did that well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and as I'm receiving this, I feel a great deal of, I'm noticing like pressure in the head. And I just want to say hello to that in this moment. I don't know what that is, but I'll say hello to it. And I'm wondering if you see anyone in the space, Judi, that represents your oomph.
I love everybody's oomph in this group. I'm going to go with Amanda.
yes. I was like, let it be me, let it be me, let it be me. Oh, I so resonate with your oomph, Judi. I really do. I really could feel it. I just was, when you were talking about that you had kind of done all this self-work and you let go of so much junk in the trunk, but yet there was this part of you that was like, that you missed, this really like playful diva, right? And I really could resonate with that. So the feeling when I tune into it is I just feel like, I feel so much breath. I feel so much openness. I feel a lot of air element. I feel like I could just go a million miles an hour. I have so much to say, and I just want to express myself wildly with my arms. I just feel so much exuberance. Yeah, it's really, the word is exuberant. I feel exuberant. And it's no wonder you miss this. Like, who wouldn't want this? It's awesome. It's so great.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so is there anyone in the space who's tuning in with like and I'm seeing Judi actually in her chair, in her spiritual siesta. Is there anyone that is having anything there, sees anything there, feels it?
I feel, I relate to that. I actually feel tired. I feel low energy, like tired in the way where I just want to zone out. Like I don't actually want to sleep, and I just don't want to like, I don't want to participate. I don't want to like be seen. I just want to sit and like stare at the wall. That's what I'm feeling. But also like, it's not a bad place to be. Like I'm safe. I'm not doing anything wrong. But I'm content just like sitting here and doing nothing. And that doesn't feel super great. I'm not thriving, but I'm safe and I'm content with it.
So Judi, in what Ruby shared, does anything stand out to you?
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know, zoning out and just not wanting to participate. I mean, I'm happy to participate here, but generally in my everyday, I participate in what I have to do. And I kind of just don't have the oomph, you know, that's it. I don't have that. So that does resonate with me.
There was something that Ruby spoke to, and it was in the languaging of, I think she said, like, I'm not doing anything wrong. Like, I'm safe here, I'm not doing anything wrong. So when was the last time you went out on a limb and did a little bit of risk, Judi?
For me, not for quite a while, for maybe like 4.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what did that look like for you?
Fun. So much fun. And I always had a lot of fun. Yeah.
And so what does fun look like to you specifically?
Fun is engaging and interacting with people and inspiring them and dancing and just attract a lot of people when I'm out and about, and too many people. And just, you know, like I said, dancing, laughing, playfulness. And I did have a lot of that.
And so there's something that changed. Is there anyone in the field feeling this change? Judi?
As I was just listening to like Ruby and Amanda, there was part of me, like my stomach was kind of turning a little bit. Like, you know, I'm kind of comfortable where Ruby's at, but then I also like what Amanda's doing. That's exciting. And then there's this part of me that kept having this thought. I don't know if it's even my thought or just from the outside, like, oh, to be spiritual, like it's to be that quiet and like hermit word keeps coming up. But then there's another part that I keep hearing, that life is like a divine play. So I don't need to be that serious to be spiritual. I can still be playful and fun. So there's this kind of back and forth that's going in my mind a little bit. Like, where do I want to be? I love being spiritual, but then I have to be all quiet and closed up. But I like this play, and I feel like I don't need to be that serious. I can be playful and spiritual and enjoy every moment and really find that spark. And so that's where I'm kind of at, like here.
So how is that for you, Amanda?
For me?
Mm-hmm. As her oomph.
Yeah, I think the indecisiveness of Dipti's back and forth thing, of that change, it's a little bit lulling. Actually, it is a little bit lulling. I feel myself getting sort of hypnotized by it. Like, I give you this or I give you that, and I feel like a lot of the feeling of oomph is very like air. It's very heart chakra, and it's up here, and it's very whirly, and it feels very attractive. And as soon as I tap into it, my heart starts to race, actually. And so I do have this question of, is that sustainable, or is there some more balanced way between these two poles, right? I'm suddenly feeling that the polarity between that sort of lulled self and this feeling is it's a little manic almost, actually, but I love it. It's absolutely awesome. So my reaction to Dipti is like, I could go here, but I don't really, I prefer to be up here. Yeah.
How is that for you, Ruby?
As Dipti was talking, and as Judi was talking about how you used to have fun and what does it look like to be taking risks and connecting with that part of yourself, I felt this really deep sadness, actually. And I got this image of like a tree from it cuts off at my throat, and it goes down to my root chakra, my first chakra, and my abdomen. And at the very bottom of the tree is like these little green roots that are still alive, as you were talking, Judi, and they were like sprouting. But the rest of it going all the way up was like this dead tree that I felt like I didn't have access to. I didn't have the power to get it to be alive again. But the bottom, like the roots were growing as you were talking. And I'm just feeling this like something like closed in my like expression in my throat chakra, something closed, and it disconnected me up here to this part, to this connection to the heaven, to the higher self. And I feel very connected in my root chakra. That is strong. I'm super strong down there. That is so strong. It's strong to the earth, but it's totally lacking up here, and I can't survive with one side strong. I need both sides strong, or it doesn't work. It's not balanced at all. So that's what I'm feeling.
So Adrienne, what does Judi need to bring in this balance?
My diaphragm is really like feeling a lot, and I want to laugh. I want to scream and shout. I want to be engaged in a really lively way. There's something about the image that kept coming to my mind is a pack of wolves inside of a cave, and it's been really, really cold out. And this hibernating for too long of a time has caused this deep lethargy. And I'm craving the playfulness I'm craving the hunt. I'm craving spring. I'm craving laughter. I'm craving all the noises and sounds and excitement that I can't fully put to words. And more than craving it, it feels like my nervous system needs it. Like it needs it in a way that's like, it's causing me this inexplicable and unsettling sensation that I can't put words to. Like it's reaching for it in a way that isn't quite it. So my answer to that, in short, life, vitality, breath, and laughter. Vitality is the word. Like vitality is what I feel having said all that.
And we're at time.
So thank you. And Judi, just as a quick reflection, how is that for you?
Everyone said things that really resonated with me, and yeah, that was really great. I got so much from this. I appreciate every single one of you and send you all so much love. Great for me.
Thank you, Judi. We will do one final word that Judi can take out the door with her. Amanda? Dipti?
Love that.
Laughing club.
Rubes?
Open.
Adrian?
I'm gonna do the wet dog.
I love that.
And I'm gonna do this. Woo! I'm gonna get out and I want to run around.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us, Judi. And I want to thank our audience for joining and participating in this SOULution, and remind everybody that you too can be an agent of action for your soul by tuning in with your own energy system and listening to its needs. So thank you again. Thank you, Judi.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you feel different to me, and I want to ask you, how have you been doing since we were together 2 days ago? Or have you noticed any changes in your body and your energy levels? Good or bad, both are great. We welcome the truth. Yeah.
Since we were together, I slept really well for the past few nights, and I feel more relaxed, and I feel aware, feel present, feel good.
Good. That's so good. What, if anything, did you learn about yourself during this session?
During the session, so much has come to me since the session, from the session. So I learned that it was not a boring spiritual siesta that I've been in. It was a comfortable spiritual cocoon that I kept myself in, almost as a protection.
So as you say that, like almost as a protection, I feel some sadness there. Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
During the session, when I was seeing myself in the Soul Council members, I was like, literally, I was so watching in amazement when I was watching them, because I felt like I was internally addressing awareness of myself and trying to throw away everything that no longer serves me. And I saw myself, I just saw what really came to me is the realization that one thing I had not detached from was the F word, fear, which is the fear of becoming not physically well again. And fear will hold you back from everything. So, yeah, I saw everything in a different light from watching during that time. That's why I was just sitting there like, I couldn't even process it at the time. I needed time to process it, if that makes any sense.
It really does, because I felt, as the facilitator for you, I was noticing energy that I could not articulate either. So what I'm saying really is that if I were to turn that around, that I wonder if you were feeling prior to the session and during the session, that maybe you were having trouble resourcing your own self.
I mean, Shannon, that day, I had the worst, most stressful day at work. And literally, when you said you felt pressure in your head, and I'm not that way at work. I never even have like a headache. I felt like my blood pressure was so high. And I had so many different things that happened to me right before this session as well. So I didn't come into it relaxed. And I still was just in amazement of it, but I was on overload. Because I was already on overload. I didn't get a chance to even come up for air, or let the air out before I started it. And it was really my worst day. But I made a commitment, and I'm like, I'm going to do this. So I was extremely stressed. So what you felt in your head, I was like, oh yeah, she's totally tuned into my head right now. That was true.
Yes. I love that you say that it was the worst day. That is exactly how I felt. Like
it was in so many categories, at home with my kids, from work, and it like big stuff, not little stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, because usually I don't even let myself get to that point, but I didn't have a minute to come up for air. It was like my day was jam-packed.
I want to ask you, what is that thing that you took away from the session? If there were to be one thing, what would be that takeaway that you got from the session we did do, that you learned about yourself?
The takeaway is that I need to let myself out of the cave, and I need to break out of the cocoon and spread my wings and fly like the vibrant, fun-loving, diva, sparkling butterfly that I'm meant to be, instead of staying in that cocoon. That's the takeaway for me, is that I've kept myself there. I've kept myself captive there in that safe haven.